Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask, Heidi. It is Tuesday, the 23rd day of July. It is Gorgeous Grandma Day today. So call your gorgeous grandma and say, hey, Grandma, you're gorgeous. Hot Enough For You Day, that's going on today. International Yada 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 Day, National Sprout Day, National Vanilla Ice Cream Day. Only vanilla, not other colors.
Other colors?
Other flavors. I don't know what I'm talking about. National Women Touched by Addiction Day, Peanut Butter and Chocolate Day. That goes really well with ice cream, and so does Sprinkles Day. Goes really well with ice cream. And it is Egypt's National Day, which I said that country really weird. Egypt. Egypt's National Day. I don't know what's going on with me. All of that happening on this Tuesday. And let me check my notes. It is Tuesdays with Charlie.
Yes, it is.
Excited to have him in the studio to chat with us all about whatever is on his crazy little mind. So we'll be chatting with Charlie. That's Heidi's dad, my father-in-law. We'll do that in just a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Researchers say that early birds tend to be more religious than people who prefer to stay up late at night. Some people naturally prefer to wake up early in the morning, while others prefer to stay up late. And there's a third group that falls somewhere in between. Which one are you, Heidi?
It depends on the day, and it depends on what's going on. I'm not a morning person. Usually.
Prior research is linked...
But if we're going on vacation, I'd jump right out of bed.
Prior research has linked morning people to having generally higher life satisfaction and being more conscientious. In a study carried out recently, a team at the University of Warsaw found that there is a possibility that religiosity contributes to the relationship between being a morning person and enjoying higher life satisfaction. So here's the thing that's interesting. I'm both. I stay up late and I wake up early. How weird is that?
Yeah.
That is so.
That's also not healthy for
Well,
you because
but
you're not getting enough rest.
I'm getting enough for me because I wake up on. It's
Apparently
not like I have an
not.
alarm. I think so. Surveys and studies. Let's have this argument off the air. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
It's rad. It's bad. It's 80s. The coolest rock vacation of the summer. Retromania Live. August 21st through 25th, the Mansion Theater. Starring Vince Neil, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Night Ranger, Tom Kiefer, Tiffany, Lou Graham, Pauly Shore, celebrity autograph signing, costume parties, and more. Single day tickets on sale now at RetromaniaLive.com. Produced by Branson Star Entertainment.
Did you know? Brought to you by Genesis Gold, IRA.com. Heidi, did you know that husbands cause twice as much stress for their wives as kids do?
Yes.
Yeah, 2018 study of 7,000 mothers, the study conducted by Today, showed that a division of household tasks is one of the factors contributing to their stress. So, like, they're doing way more than their fair share. And 75% of mothers feel that they should shoulder most, if not all, of the household chores. I help anytime I'm asked to help, and there are sometimes I do things that I'm not even asked to do.
Yes, you do.
I usually do it wrong, and then I'm told, never do that again.
I was very impressed, by the way. Yesterday, I was out mowing the lawn, and you jumped up without asking, came out and got the trimmer.
I'm sitting there, and I heard, like, is that the lawnmower? Should probably go do something. All right, we don't know everything, but now we know this. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by RadioSavings.com. Ryan Seacrest is in the news. He's giving Wheel of Fortune fans a behind-the-scenes look at his first day of filming. Seacrest took over for the beloved Pat Sajak after 4 decades as the host. In his video, Ryan admitted that he was spinning with excitement, and he said his heart was pounding. He was introducing himself to his new coworkers, and he was walking around the set, and he said when he walked into the studio and he saw that big wheel for the very first time, he said, it's a lot smaller than you'd think. And then he kind of joked saying, people say that about me as well. So if you'd like to see the video, I've got a link to it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. And our final story in the big screen, little screen report, Nutcrackers. David Gordon Green's new comedy starring Ben Stiller will open the 2024 Toronto Film Festival on September 5th. Stiller's first starring role since the Netflix drama The Meyerowitz Stories from 2017.
Yeah, we haven't seen Stiller in anything forever.
Well, he's going to be back on the big screen. It also has been announced that the Deb, Rebel Wilson's directorial debut, will close the TIFF on September 15th. That is the Toronto Film Festival.
Alrighty.
So there you go. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com. Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. This is interesting. I just read that a lion's roar can be heard from 5 miles away.
Oh, wow.
Which is still not nearly far enough, if you ask me.
Agreed.
Doesn't that seem weird? That's a long distance.
That is.
So they certainly make a little noise. By the way, when Heidi's angry at me, you can hear her 5 miles away. And no-shows. They're a huge problem for restaurants these days, with as many as 1 in 5 diners in big cities failing to show up for reservations. It can have big financial effect on an already struggling industry, but a new study by Mando Media shows that 95% of top restaurants are fighting back by charging fees for missed reservations. And sometimes they cost as much as dinner would have. A Michelin star spot in Toronto charges $350 per person. It's the cost of an 8-course dinner. While this is nothing new for Michelin star restaurants, independent spots are starting to do the same now. A Brooklyn, New York eatery started charging $20 per person for missed reservation no-shows. And when they did that, no-shows dropped by 90%.
I would hope so. I think that's fair.
I think so too. And I think it's really rude. I've seen this where, and it's not just restaurants, but things like chiropractors and dentist appointments and anybody that has a schedule where they are holding a spot for you, and then you just don't show up, there should be some sort of consequence.
Agreed.
And, I just don't understand why people would do that. If you have an appointment, and
I mean, if there was an emergency, obviously that's a different story. If you're in the hospital somewhere or
a lot of the
something,
people who do this are repeat offenders. Like, they just make appointments and they just don't go.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you would do that. Because there are other people who wanted to get in and they're like, nope, sorry, we're all full for the night.
We're full.
So I wonder if these restaurants have like a standby. If you come in and go, if you want to hang out, if somebody doesn't show up for their appointment, you can have their table. That would be a good idea.
Do,
I don't know. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We reach out to my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
It's Tuesdays with Charlie on the John and Heidi Show.
Hey, Charlie.
Boy, week after week I do this.
We welcome you back week after week.
And
we love having you.
it gets better every single week.
Oh, gee, there's just no end to it.
You'd think with all the practice that we had that it would be far better than it really is. I'm kidding. I really like it. It's fun. It really is one of my favorite things we do all week, Charlie.
Boy, you got a dull life. You know what? 2 people we got out to listen to this, they don't care.
Yeah. Of the 2 listeners we have, one of them really likes the show. That's me. Heidi's the other one, and she's like,
No, she don't care about it.
Take it or leave it.
I got one true customer, and that's Burmeister.
There you go. Yes, that's our son.
He likes it.
He does.
Hey, then you ever ride a bicycle?
I have, yeah.
like-
It's
I like-
been a few years.
I'd like to see that.
I have a bicycle
to
right
see
now, but I have
that.
not aired up the tires and tried to ride it lately.
But that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Did you know about 100 million bicycles are manufactured each year?
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of bikes. I didn't
is
think
a lot.
anybody rode bicycles anymore.
Yeah, there's some places where that's the main way they get around is on bicycle.
Then, once again, here we are talking about bicycles.
Oh, nice. You got another one?
There are over 500 million bicycles in China.
Oh, wow.
But every time you see something about China, they're riding bikes.
Yeah.
Because traffic is terrible over there. I tried it once on a bike.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty.
How long ago has it been since you've been on a bicycle?
60 years ago.
Oh, wow. We'll have to go together.
Yeah. I'll videotape the two of you.
Let's get a tandem bike and we'll go on the...
If you and I go, instead of a bicycle
That
built
would
for
be
2,
amazing.
we would need a bicycle built for 2.5 because I'm going to take up more than my one.
Well, I'm going to be behind because then you can do all the pedaling and you won't know I'm not doing anything. and we'll get in that big bike thing they have where that guy won it and then he got disqualified.
Oh, yeah. The Tour de France?
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, yeah, you guys could totally do
Yeah,
that.
we could do that.
Hey, I've told you this before, that it's harder to get in the Ringling Brothers Clown School than Harvard Law School.
Yeah, I remember
isn't
hearing
that
that
crazy?
72% of dog owners believe their dog can detect when storm weather is on the way.
before. That's pretty cool. Our dogs are horrible at that. They don't know it's raining even when it's raining.
Well, the one dog does. The other one's a little ditzy.
Yeah, she's not that smart.
Talk about fluff that way. Where are we at in this show here? Oh, here we go.
You're talking about dogs.
Well, then, speaking of dogs, you know that 47% of dogs sleep in their owners' beds?
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Ours both do.
Yeah. Unless Charlie is staying over, then they stay with him instead
Yeah,
of
then
us.
they'd rather sleep with them, yeah.
Well, yeah, they'd rather go with Grandpa than you guys.
That's
oh,
true.
Do you blame them, though?
Nope. Approximately 40,000 people are bitten by cats in the U.S. annually.
It's a lot of people
That's
getting
a
bitten
whole
by
lot
cats.
of people.
And speaking of cats, how about donuts?
I don't see the connection, but let's do this.
Well, we're speaking about that
Let's
stuff.
head down this rabbit hole.
Krispy Kreme donuts are kosher. Did you know that?
You know what? I think
I
you told
did
us that
not
before.
know that.
I'm pretty sure Charlie told us that, Heidi.
Okay.
And then speaking of donuts, here's another thing. 13 people in the U.S. are actually named Donut.
Really?
That's their legal name is Donut?
Their last name.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Or as we say, do not. No, that wouldn't come out right either, would it?
I don't think so.
What's your name? Phil Donut.
Nice.
Phil Cream Donut. Okay, I'm done before they throw me out.
I got a question for you. Okay, there's a sport called squirrel fishing. What do you do if you're squirrel fishing? Any ideas?
Not a clue.
Heidi,
I
what do you
have
think?
no
Squirrel
idea.
fishing. Okay, squirrel fishing is where a participant tries to catch a squirrel, and if they catch them, they lift them into the air using a nut on a fishing pole string. So they throw a nut that's tied to a string, and then if the squirrel jumps on and grabs it, you try to pick them up off the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
And
think
you call my stuff stupid as I come up with.
it's always a pleasure to have you in here, even if I have dumb questions today. Sorry about that. I feel as though I really let you down, Charlie.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
I'm sorry. I'll do better next week, I promise.
I might not come next week.
Yeah, you might not, but just in case you do, I'll see you then.
Okay. Bye, Fluff.
Bye,
John.
Daddy.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday, hopefully, with a fun little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Apples ripen after being picked, but oranges do not. So, yeah,
I didn't
oranges
know
have
that.
to be ripe before you pick them. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Sleeping next to someone you love makes you fall asleep faster, it reduces depression, and it helps you live longer. So,
I agree
you're
with the
welcome,
falling
Heidi.
asleep faster. I can't sleep until you come into the room.
I know.
I'm restless
You know who else
until
can't?
you get there.
Our dog Cassie. I'll be like working in the other room, and Cassie, she'll literally walk in the room and just look up at me like, can we go to bed now? Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The sleepiest animal in the world is a koala. They sleep 22 hours a day. Wow. Fun fact
I would
for
have
you,
thought it
Heidi.
would be the sloth.
No.
That's interesting.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Cats are the only known animal, aside from humans, that prefer to be given things freely rather than having to work for them. Cats are. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
July 16th is the happiest day of the year. Why didn't you send me this a week ago? Oh, I'm looking here. Yeah, I've had this for 3 weeks. So. Whoops. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's rad. It's bad. It's 80s. The coolest rock vacation of the summer. Retromania Live. August 21st through 25th, the Mansion Theater. Starring Vince Neil, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Night Ranger, Tom Kiefer, Tiffany, Lou Graham, Pauly Shore, celebrity autograph signings, costume parties, and more. Single day tickets on sale now at RetromaniaLive.com. Produced by Branson Star Entertainment.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. This is most likely to happen in your home at 8 a.m. What is it?
Oh,
I don't think we've ever had this happen in our home.
I don't know.
People fighting for time in the bathroom.
Oh,
We're both in there at the same time.
yeah.
We've been married long enough, nothing phases either one of us. So,
You get awfully
well, there are times I'm like,
if I walk in on
could you give me one more minute at least? I'll put my phone down, I promise. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com. Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Grocery store tourism is a thing for Gen Z travelers. Yeah, foreign grocery stores have become a must check out for a growing number of vacationers who feel that adding unfamiliar overseas supermarkets to their sightseeing list can teach them about their local food culture for much less than it would cost to go to a trendy restaurant. Pushing a grocery cart alongside the locals as they shop for food and necessities has become an obsession with some young travelers who've been sharing their fascinating findings on social media. Some are even traveling within their own country to check out what's available in other parts of their country. A TikToker who journeyed to the U.S. West Coast from the East Coast, their sole purpose, visiting a luxury supermarket chain known for expensive smoothies created by celebrities like Hailey Bieber. So,
Alrighty.
that's quite
Sounds
fascinating.
fascinating.
You want to go take photos at a grocery store
no,
later, Heidi?
I really don't.
Although that does sound like something we do. Weird News brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. We started this list yesterday. I don't know if we'll get through it today or not, but famous figures whose names we've probably been saying wrong. So how about Genghis Khan? A lot of people say it with a G, like great, but the Mongols actually would have called him like Chinggis Khan.
Chinggis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So instead of it's beginning with a J. So Genghis Khan?
Genghis Khan?
I don't know how they would have said
Genghis.
it. How about Matt Groening, the guy from Simpsons fame? You want to say Groening, but the O-E, his name is more like an A-Y, making the correct pronunciation like Graining. So did I say it right? I might have said it right. I don't know. How about Lindsay Lohan? When she posted her first TikTok in 2022, she introduced herself by saying, not surprising, "Hey everyone, it's Lindsay Lohan." To the surprise of many, her last name is Lohan, not Lohan. Lindsay Lohan. That's how she says it. There's some additionals on the list. We'll get to all of those maybe tomorrow. I've got the whole list in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com. Our quote today is from Groucho Marx. I always love his quotes. These make me smile so much. Here's the quote from Groucho Marx this time. When you're in jail, a good friend will try to bail you out, but a best friend will be in the cell next to you saying, dang, that was fun. You know what? I hope I never have to go to jail, but if I ever do have to go to jail, I hope it's with my best friend.
I don't want to go to jail.
Who makes you think that you're my best friend? Just kidding. She is my best friend. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Our story today comes from California, where a police officer grabbed a garden hose to stop a house from catching fire. How cool is this? California woman expressed heartfelt gratitude to the Fairfield Police Department when Officer Neal's brave action saved her home from a potential disaster. The incident occurred on the 4th of July, about 10:10 p.m. Officer responded to a fire call when he noticed a pressing issue at the neighbor's home. The fence of the home was ablaze. The embers had landed on the roof, posing imminent threat. Officer Neal, immediately tried to alert the homeowner, but there was no response, so he grabbed a nearby garden hose and began dousing the fire. He continued to hose down the roof until he was certain the embers were all put out. The family security camera captured this man on camera. So all the heroic actions were captured. Homeowner Deborah
Above
Allen.
and beyond.
Yeah. Deborah Allen was out of town for the 4th of July. She was immensely relieved and thankful that she had the opportunity to thank Officer Neal in person at the police department. Having lived in the home for 40 years, she said the potential loss would have been devastating. It's very emotional. My husband passed away a few years ago. All of his stuff is in here, and it would have been the most important thing, and I would have lost it all.
Yeah.
So you can see the security footage and some still shots from that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.